Good morning. I am John Halcyon. This is the Love Ambassador Morning. Welcome to a daily opportunity to connect and share gratitude and remember who we are and who we can be, and just giving ourselves a nudge or a preemptive guideline that we want to be kind to people today. We want to be patient. We want to be open to connection. We want to avoid the maybe temptation to greet the world with our dukes up and instead see if we can greet the world like this, palms out, open, jugular exposed, and see if that will be met with trust and vulnerability. And the fact that it might not be is what makes you a love warrior in addition to a love ambassador. It takes courage. So thank you for joining me. If you're here, come say hello, share something you're grateful for. So much power in shared gratitude. I'm going to speak in a moment about an article I read in the New Yorker about gratitude, different definitions and such. But before we do that, I think a song is a good idea. And if you were worried about that shart yesterday, I assure you it wasn't diarrhea. This song is already a nightmare. I can't believe you are still here. And saying the first thing that enters my mind, of course, it gives me fear. Because the words come out and have some potty mouth and dread. But if we let all the shit out quick, that leaves joy inside our head. It's love morning, love morning. It's love morning, love morning. It's love morning. Good morning. Man, that song, it was like a plane going diving, and then I pulled it out and saved the day. It's tough to rhyme diarrhea in the second line and still have a worthy song come out, but I think we did it. Thanks for your support and your trust. Good morning, Juan. Good morning, Darren. Good morning, Gerbot. Good morning, guys. Welcome to our love morning, our chance to share some gratitude. Whoa, look at the purple light off this lamp, off this tree reflection. It really couldn't figure out what's going on there. If you're here, I'd love to hear something that you're grateful for. I am grateful for a gathering yesterday with my oldest friends, Darren and Brandon, and Scott and my brother. My brother, who I've known since he was born over 50 years ago. And Brandon and Darren, I met when I was 5. And Scott, I met in junior high when I was like 12, 13, something like that. And still my closest people. I'm actually going on a trip to Hawaii with Scott in a week or two, 2 weeks. And he's such a treasured person in my life. We've we're very different, but there's so much shared values and shared appreciation of. There's just a deep commitment to inquiry and a non-attachment to certainty. So one of the things I really learn a lot from Scott is he will ask questions and ask questions, and he genuinely is curious and wants to understand people and things. So he's never in debate mode. He's always in conversation mode, which is such a healthy and healing place to be talking from. And he also doesn't agree to things, for example, because it is harmonious. If he thinks that there is like an ethical issue with something, or he thinks maybe that something is he doesn't just laugh. He's like, well, and he is real clear on right and wrong, but also open to having his mind change or being explained to him why he might be interpreting things in an incorrect way. And I think I'm like that too, which I think is why we get along so well. We have strong opinions, strong morals, and are open to adjusting the goalposts or the lines as we learn. So super grateful for Scott and Darren and Brandon and Jim. And super grateful for Lisa, who helped me, or actually she made I was just going to scramble some eggs. She goes, let's make a frittata. And she kind of coached me on how to help her make a frittata. So she made for our brunch. And then she was super friendly. And then she took off and was productive and kind of let the boys talk, which is probably for the best because some of the topics were in the realm of intimacy, meaning potentially offensive to people that do not know us well. That is one of the joyous things about real deep connection with people, is that you can make jokes in realms that could be offensive if you didn't know a person's heart and didn't know that you're obviously being ironic or exaggerating something for comedic effect. There's certain topics that are just not okay. And it was really nice. We had a few conversations that were like, hey, here's this thing that feels hard to talk about publicly, but I'd like to talk it out here in a safe space. It was really nice. Gerbot asking, has any of them been to the burn? All of them. Yes. Darren and my brother went with me our first year in 98, and then three of us went for the next maybe 5, 6, 7 years. Brandon went a couple times with us back in the day, early 2000s. And I believe Scott Berman even went one year. And I apologize for saying his, never mind. Yes, none of them ever attached to it the way that I did. Darren is a professional artist, Darren Cohen. I urge you to follow him on Facebook or look at his Instagram, Darren Cohen. An incredible artist. I've got one printed in this room. I used to have a big one over my bed in my last place. Incredible painter. And so he's been involved with theme camp creation throughout the years when I was with Lust Monkeys and a few other camps and backcountry. Good question, Gerbot. Am I allowed to be friends with people that haven't gone to the burn? So Scott is in that realm of person who he's not a burner, but he is open to all things. I think he would agree with that designation of not a burner. They passed the test, says Gerbot. Exactly. Yeah. Well, and really, it's as we're learning more and more, it's not about someone who has gone to Black Rock City. It's someone who can embrace principles like radical self-expression and gifting and Scott's pursuit of his righteous moral compass, while not guided by the 10 principles, can easily dialogue with anything related to 10 principles because he's very conscious about his choices and the impact of his words and actions. Good morning, Kiri. Good morning. I am so grateful for the gratitude updates that I've heard from you recently, Kiri. It is so nice to feel the rays of sunlight off your face. I am so grateful for my partner, Lisa. We walked around the block this morning and just enjoying our new home, talking about the future, talking about our future plans, talking through financial things and just, it's things that I would have a hard time talking about without anxiety or fear are so much easier in partnership like this, with this commitment to one another. And I mean, she's so dependable and capable. I use that word often with her. Like I never had the feeling like, man, if things go screwy, I'm going to be the one that's going to have to figure this all out. Like, nope, I'm not that. Nope, we'll figure it out. Anybody else have something that they're feeling grateful for? Oh, I said I was going to mention this article in the New Yorker, and I only read it through once. I'm probably going to read it through a couple more times because it had some ideas that were really food for thought. My dad sent it to me, actually. He goes, read this on gratitude. And it was talking about, well, first I started saying that there's two really arms of gratitude, two directions. There's, I am grateful that Lisa made the frittata for me. I'm grateful for her action. It's almost like, it's almost transactional, though. Like they didn't use those terms, but it's kind of like, you did a thing for me, so I'm grateful for what you did for me. And then there's, I'm grateful that there's food in my fridge. Just, I'm grateful. I'm more in the realm of appreciation. And so they started talking the difference between thankfulness, appreciation, and gratitude. And I was like, I think I use them pretty interconnectedly. I like at night, Lisa and I, we say, I appreciate about you, ... And in my mind, I'm like, that's our gratitude practice. It's not our appreciation practice. But I don't think of gratitude as something that has like a I give it to you and I want it from you. But one of the arguments they said is like, that's one reason why someone can say, you ingrateful little bastard, is because in that situation, the other person appreciates what you did for them, but they are not showing gratitude for it. So, this article made me think, well, maybe I'm using the wrong word. I'm more focused on appreciation. Appreciate the mundane, appreciate all the stuff. I mean, I think there is a power to being grateful for the things that people do for you, but there is that danger of it becoming, having a weight or having a reciprocal aspect to it. If it seems to slip away from gifting, or maybe it is powerful as long as you consider it gifting, where it is given, but it is without any expectation and without transaction. So I urge you to check out the link in the New Yorker on this article on gifting. See if anybody thought about the difference between appreciation and gratitude. Gerbot is grateful for good friends, family, and good health. Gerbot saying thankfulness versus appreciation versus gratitude. Yeah, me too. When I say, what am I grateful for? I'm generally saying, what do I appreciate? And I'm generally, as a general practice, I'm trying to keep the things that I'm taking for granted and bringing them back under the level of awareness and appreciation, which then makes me grateful and thankful. Woofy is grateful for steamy morning Scooby snacks in the shower while kicking it with y'all. Scooby snacks are bong rips. Nice. You are starting your day differently than mine, and I respect that. Woofy also says, appreciate the absurd. Hear, hear. You got my vote for that. Kiri says, I am grateful for my partner, Tom. He surprises and delights me almost every day with how kind, generous, and thoughtful he is. I am so appreciative of hearing you use words like partner and beau, and so nice to see such a light as you, Kiri, getting to swirl your brilliance with another light. Yay. Curie adding, I'm feeling excited by the dynamic of equality I have with him. We have a mutual sense of respect that I haven't experienced in a romantic relationship before. I totally understand that. I would say I would not have been able to identify that missing until it was there. And the reason it was missing for me had everything to do with me. Gerbot says, I do love me some somatics. There is, I think, I don't consider myself someone that loves somatics, but I'm often benefiting from an analysis of the words. Like Brene Brown has this, I can't remember, the Atlas of Love, I think it's called, something like that. But it breaks down all these feeling words, and it's so much clearer and deeper than my awareness of these words, and the process of her explaining them, and the difference between disgust and disdain and resentment. There's significant lessons in the way they differ, the way some of them, like shame versus guilt, and so semantics can be a really powerful learning and teaching tool. Carrie says, I've definitely identified it missing in the past. One partner usually has more power than the other, and there's respect missing in the dynamic. I think that is common. And often, different people are drawn to the different dynamics because of the lessons they need to learn there. And then often things adjust, and then that whatever degree of out of balance power no longer serves. Kiri says, I've often been the partner that talks down to my other. That's a big thing to say and admit. And that's a huge thing to be aware of and see if you especially as you can recognize the damage it can have. Like, I know that I don't feel like I express it in my relationship right now. But there are old patterns of that power dynamic that sometimes come up for me. Ways that I have in the past demonstrated love and connection that are not they're not interpreted in the way that my old patterns think they are, because they are coming from a disrespectful place without my conscious knowing it. And I think that's part of growth is, we start to recognize bad patterns and have partners that we could say, hey, I just did that thing. That had nothing to do with you. I apologize for that. Thanks for your understanding. And then we build trust. Go, okay, cool. I'm glad you noticed that. And yeah, thank you. I that made me feel blank, blank, blank. So it means a lot that you're aware that you did it. I love you. I love you too. Good morning, Steve. Great to see you. Juan says, I think the love monster needs to have hugs like Cookie Monster needs cookies. That's a fun idea. I'm definitely gonna have to get better with my puppeteering sticks to be able to hug with the enthusiasm that Cookie Monster eats cookies. Although Cookie Monster never really eats the cookies, so does that mean that Love Monster never really feels the hugs, man? Wow, man, wow. Years ago, one of the early things I did in my written version of my zine, Prehensile Tales, was I did a lessons learned from Sesame Street, and it was like, the Count is a kid's first look at the occult, and Snuffleupagus is a kid's first look at schizophrenic hallucinations, and Bert and Ernie were a kid's first look at homosexual couples. Cookie Monster, first look at gluttony and eating disorders. Wolfie says, well-chosen words are accurate windsocks, but not substitutions for good vibes. In the new episode of Stay Sparked, which I need to promote this week because it's really good, Betsy and her partner talk about their relationship. And I think I mentioned this in the past, but they do some really interesting, beautiful things. Like they don't say I love you with the frequency that you would expect, because they try to say, what am I really feeling when I say I love you? You know, do I respect you? I appreciate you. I feel safe with you. Whatever. What are the things that you're blanketing in love? I have a hard time with that, because to me, when I say I love you to Lisa, I'm saying like, I don't understand this connection that I have, and it's awesome and big and divine, and I don't want to be without you. You're my favorite. I love you. Kiri says, I've learned how to let others be instead of trying to control them. Good morning, Brent. And good morning, Patrick from Billings, Montana. Hey, Patrick. What's up? Thanks for joining us. Anybody want to share some gratitude that they are experiencing today? They're feeling something that might be something mundane that you're like, you know what I am realizing that is good in my life? Chairs. Imagine how uncomfortable it would be if I didn't have a chair to sit down whenever I wanted to rest my weary muscles. I'd be sitting on the floor all the time, my knees would get jacked. Thank you, chair. So grateful for chairs. This one in particular that I'm sitting on right now. Wolfie's saying that I'm Love Monster's hug feeling support animal because he doesn't have a nervous system. Aww. Kiri says, many of my I love yous have truly been, I feel so happy around you. Yeah. I love you often for me is, I'm so grateful you're in my life. I feel a warmth and a connection that feels more significant than the thoughts in my head. Wolfie agreeing. Oh my God, chairs! I added a wooden chair to my shower and my life changed. Really? That's interesting. Our new place has a kind of a bench in the shower that I have not yet taken much advantage of, but all right, shower chair. You got me intrigued. Anyone else want to share any last gratitudes before we head off into the world? Bravo, Wolfie Wolf, on being able to work through the old patterns in partnership. That was also discussed in the podcast. Is the kind of agreement and the understanding of why are we in a relationship? We are here to aid one another's growth. And from that perspective, it really makes space for helping someone get through an old trauma. Instead of when they act out from some old wounded place, if you're not in the headspace of we're all wounded and our relationships are tools for healing, they act out and you're like, I don't deserve this shit. What the fuck? This has nothing to do with me. Why are you doing that to me? I didn't do that, But if you are clear about the reason for your relationship and the wiring of human beings, you can go, oh, I love this person. I am going to hold space for this emotional state, dysregulation that they're in. And I am going to suspend my reaction, suspend my defensiveness. I'm going to see them as a child who is acting out And through that supportive love, the other person can start to release the unhelpful patterns. And if not release, at least quickly recognize and then hopefully come back and say, I am sorry for what just happened. And then the key is to go like, beautiful, well done. Like, I'm not upset that you got triggered. I'm stoked that you were able to get through it so quickly and are aware of it. That's not a failure. That's a success. That is you doing it. Well done. I'm glad I could be here for you. Proud to be your partner. The podcast name is Stay Sparked. Stay Sparked. All right. Well, I am super grateful to have got to spend some time with you. I'm excited today to do a little work on the Radical Hope Weekend. I've been working on some HTML and some graphics and some copy, and gonna try to get some stuff online and do a little promoting this week. There's a few. If you are open to maybe reading through some stuff or looking at a draft, let me know. I would love to have extra eyes before and feedback. I'm so close to things now that it's sometimes really hard to tell. Like, is this a good idea, or did I read this on ChatGPT and then I believed it was a good idea? Is this have the emotional impact that I think it is? Is this too negative? Is this too pessimistic? One of the things that I've been struggling with is kind of the formula for online sales is negative solution, and it's not really my way of speaking. But in any case, I'm in trust and am trying to embrace the learning. Oh, if you're in San Diego, for Saturdays is this Saturday. There is a grief film playing on Tuesday night that is, I think, has tickets that I'm going to be going to. Reach out to me if you want details on any of those things, or if you want details on Love Ambassador, the Love Ambassador Weekend, which is called Radical Hope, January 11th to 12th. January 11th is also, if you don't want to go to the Love Ambassador meetup, you can still meet us out at Pink Heart Nightclub. The Pink Party is that Saturday night, which we're going to go to as a group, but that's open to anyone that wants to get a ticket. Good morning, Sarah. Sarah says, grateful to make it. Looking forward to replaying and hearing your topics today. Grateful to get on the mountain for some skiing today. I'm grateful that you got here right as we were getting ready to close. So wherever you are, give yourself a big old squeeze. Give yourself some appreciation for this body, for the chair you're in, for all the little things we sometimes or often stop noticing. Grateful for all the comforts and conveniences. Grateful for the people around us doing the best they can, forgiving them when they stumble, being proud of them when they overcome. Grateful for all the growth coming through us and around us as we take a deep breath in and squeeze. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and all of us here, thanks for being here today. I love you. Enjoy the start of this week. Happy December. Yeah, me too, Gerbot. And hello, Cassius. Good morning. Cassius is grateful for growing love every day. Love that. Enjoy the day.